Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the trio of series that took place in the LPL earlier this morning and preview tomorrow's three series. Predictions-wise, I went 2-1 on the day, 9-5 on the split. Recap, so Ninja in Pajamas and IG. I got this one wrong. I was way off. I thought IG would win 2-1, and actually Nip blew him out. So, Ninja in Pajamas 22nd in the power rankings, now 1-1. IG 19th, same record. Angel was my MVP in the 2-0 win. Fodic 13-1-12, 31% of damage for Nip. Jew alongside him 1-2-25. So the bot lane went combined 14 kills, 3 deaths, 37 assists. On 259 on the losing side bot lane, 33% of IG's damage. So Angel ends up being MVP despite not dealing a ton of damage. He and Shadow were joined at the hip for the entire early game of game one. His Nico really impactful, getting around the rift, making things happen alongside the Vi. And in my opinion, was integral to the success. Like, it's already Shadow's job to make something happen on the Vi, but because Angel is joining him and facilitating and roaming, that makes him the MVP in my book. Cryan was unable to keep up in that way. YSKM did solo kill Invincible in game one. Game two struggled a lot into Kennen. I think it was Kennen into Aurelia, and Invincible got the better of him by quite a bit. Actually, Invincible in game two is probably the MVP individually, but because of his struggles in game one against YSKM, I end up not picking him. Angel on the Lissandra in game two also found ways to help his team get ahead, and by the end even had a bounty, I think, when the game finally ended, like at 6 kills, 2-10 or something on Lissandra. Definitely a much better series than how he had played against EDG. You know, I mean, both of these teams were close. I thought IG's mid-jungle were going to be able to compete. I think Cryan and Angel are pretty close, but I thought that Tia and Jin would be able to match Shadow, and he couldn't. He allowed Shadow to do things, and frankly, you know, that's kind of weird saying it like he allowed him to do things. He allowed him to make things happen and did not match, whether getting fed in gold to be able to carry in the mid to late game or make something happen himself, take objectives, just wasn't able to keep up and match the pressure Shadow was putting on him. And that's a young player, you know, it is what it is. Only his second LPL series, but you'd like the IG bot lane to do more. On and Wink looked awful. Wink getting picked off multiple times in this series in the jungle. Former AD carry looking like he didn't know how to get vision properly. Just, you know, a very one-sided affair. Nip blew him out. I think game one was like 17-2 in kills at one point. RNG and LNG. RNG now 1-1. LNG 2-0. Third in the power rankings, would win 2-0. Gala was MVP, 13-3-24, 32% of damage with over 1,000 DPM. Scout 18-3-20, so the two carries went 31-6-44. LP in the loss, 6-9-8, 33% damage for RNG. LNG really took it to him in game one in a big way. Tarzan, in my opinion, was actually the best player in that one. Really getting around the rift on the Viego and causing some serious havoc. Just exceptional. I thought Zika also played well at times in this series, but the two carries really stood out throughout. Scout on the Annie looked very good. Gala just frankly looked awesome. You know, probably feeling it against his former team, right? He's like, you guys pretty much have sold me off. I mean, he may have wanted out, but at the same time, I'm sure he did feel a certain type of way. And LP as well, I'm sure felt a certain type of way. And that's why he didn't do awful. I thought he found his moments to have impact on this one. Tangwan as well on the Ari looked good, but otherwise really struggled today. The rookie mid laner still, you know, a lot of growth needed. He's only played 11 games total, so you got to give him his grace. You got to give him his opportunity. RNG are by no means a stable organization, so to compare him to another rookie that may be in a stable organization, I think would be wrong and disingenuous to to Tangwan. Breathe really needed to do more. Wei needed to do more. You know, those two guys really looked good in RNG's win against Rare Atom. But when they had to play a real team like LNG, they didn't show up, frankly. As Tarzan, like I said, did well. Zika had a really nice Nara ulti at one point that really turned a team fight. You know, I definitely had some troubles picking MVP between Gala, Tarzan, and Scout, but once I saw the over 1,000 DPM out of Gala, I had to pick him. Top in EDG, top 11th in the power rankings would win 2-1 against EDG, who were 8th. They're both 1-1 on the split. By the way, I did think LNG would win 2-0, and I thought top would win 2-1. So I think I got both of those bonus points in the predictions on the Discord. Jackie Love, 12-8, 21, 31% of damage for top. Wayward was my MVP, going 12-2 and 12. Leave in the loss, 10-12, 10, 28% of damage. So, Game 1, EDG definitely got the better of them. It was not a chaotic game. Really turned when Ale had like a triple or a quadra on Gwen, finding a really good flank in the jungle and taking it to mid lane and really just running over top in that team fight. And top really couldn't respond after that. They were behind the 8-ball, and EDG were able to roll them. In my opinion, that's how I looked at it. EDG clearly had a plan to try and affect the bot lane matchup, give Leave and Mako an opportunity. In both game 1 and game 2, EDG made a concerted effort to go to bot lane and succeeded. Now, Wayward ends up being MVP because in game 2 on the Kesante, he took it to Ale in a big way. 3 solo kills, 2 in lane, 1 in the latter stages as they defended the base when Elder was up. Rookie actually taking that. I considered making Rookie MVP. I considered making Jackie Love MVP or Mark. Frankly, everybody but Tian, because in game 2, EDG actually were in a winning position. They'd exposed the Nexus, and it was only Jackie Love by himself, and then Mark, who actually were able to slow down EDG from taking the Nexus, Wayward getting a double kill, finally respawning, and they saved the day. So, honestly, it could have been an EDG 2-0. It was that close. But after that, top were able to find a couple picks, win the Elder fight, Rookie taking it on the Syndra, winning the fight, and winning the game. Game 3, Jackie Love and Mark really stood out. Mark on the Pike got Jackie Love ahead on the Draven. Mark would then continue to make things happen on the Pike, but also into his face-off, reminiscent of like a Hillsong Pike, to be honest. Found opportunities, and then, JJ also found him a couple times in the jungle and solo killed him. So there were issues with it. So that's why originally I put Mark down, but I changed my mind. I'm like, you know, he got them ahead, which is important, but he also allowed EDG back in it. Top had quite a big lead, and then EDG were able to drop it down to like 5k and put themselves in striking distance. In the end, top were able to win, though, and Rookie was able to make something occur. Wayward didn't end his face-off, which is why he got MVP. Game 2 was super, super clutch on the Kesante, and really was the difference in that one in a game that EDG should have won against top. And then, you know, Wayward didn't into game 3, so I mean, in the end, I picked him, but I think you could have picked multiple people out of top. Just very close one. I mean, it literally was an exposed Nexus away from being an EDG 2-0, which is reminiscent of how top lost to LNG. I mean, they didn't expose a Nexus, but top should have beaten LNG and didn't. Sneak peek for tomorrow. So, we have 5 of the 6 teams are in the top 10. Yeah, in the top 10 of the power rankings, so a big one. Rare Atom and BLG. So Rare Atom is the one team not in the top 25. They lost to RNG. BLG beat OMG. They're 4th in the power rankings. BLG beat RA 2-1 in spring. So jungle mid 80 carry holds over in the matchups. Rare Atom have swapped out the top lane. Cube now with Team World Elite. Zhaoju from LGD now with Rare Atom. And then at support, Southwind is out, and they've brought in Feather from JDG's Academy team. So, the jungle mid and 80 carry matchup in that 2-1 win for BLG. Sean Yagao and Elk went 25 kills, 19 deaths, 40 assists for 1,561 DPM, which was 70% of the damage for BLG. Rare Atom in the loss. Land, Strive, Assum. By the way, Strive is playing in this one. Mole played in the first series. 32 kills, 18 deaths, 37 assists, 1,440 DPM, 68%. So the trio of players on either side accounted for roughly 70% of the team's damage. So top lane and support going to affect this one. I would really like to see Feather look better because he looked pretty bad against RNG, a team that got blown out by LNG. And Zhaoju into Bin is going to be a thing, because Bin honestly entered his face-off against OMG, had no business of winning. It looked like the shy showing. So, I mean, Zhaoju could force his hand again. As far as the other roles are concerned, I really think Strive is better than Mole, so hopefully this is a Rare Atom move that sticks. And Assum is a very good player. I don't think he's Elk, but I think he's he's 2 years younger, or at least a year younger, so I'd like to see him, be given a little bit of an opportunity. I know he's been around for 2 full splits now, but we'll see if he can continue to, try and carry these basement-dwelling teams. Weibo and OMG, talk about some inty teams. Take your coin out and flip it. Weibo 9th, OMG 10th. Weibo 1-0. They beat JDG. OMG 0-1. They lost to BLG. Weibo 1-2-0 in spring. Light absolutely dominating that one. 22-1-12. 897 DPM, 34% of Weibo's damage. Able 411.5 in the loss, 539. That's almost 360 DPM less. 28% of OMG's damage. This one is truly a coin flip. The Shy against OMG in general. Weiwei is going to play for Weibo. We'll see if he can continue that success he had against JDG. I am going to be paying attention to that. It's truly a coin flip. It really is. Can Abel show up? He didn't last time these two teams played. Can Cream show up? He didn't last time they played. So this is a thing. Does the Shy show up? Does it matter if he doesn't? Shanji, beat on Bin pretty good last time he was on the Rift and he still lost. So it's not going to be a clean one. LNG and JDG. So LNG third in the power rankings due to the new scheduling. We are having teams play back-to-backs. This is not something we've seen before in the regular season, at least in recent memory. So LNG 2-0, third in the power rankings. JDG 0-1. LNG beat RNG. JDG lost to Weibo. Last time they played, JDG would win 2-1. I highlighted the mid lane matchup because the only difference from that one is that LP is now with RNG and Gala is in his place, which does matter. But we don't have stats to kind of cite in that, in the format we could here. So we looked at the mid lane because both mid laners sucked in that one. So Knight 7-11-23, 564 DPM, only 24% of the team's damage. Scout only had 2 kills in 3 games, 11 deaths, 24 assists, 444 DPM, 22%. So, why am I citing this one? Which mid laner is going to step up? Scout was my MVP pretty much in spring. He and Tarzan, back and forth. Knight, an excellent player. I have him as my number 1 mid laner. We have 2 of the top 3 mid laners in the world in this one, in my opinion right now. So, it's going to be electric. I do think it's not even in the way that LNG did have to play a series last night. They dominated, but they did have to play one. JDG have had a day off, so there is that's affecting this one. So a good day of games once again. After this one, we have another, 5 of 6 teams that are in the top 25. So if you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.